Well, Shaun, we've got some interesting things on this table, and one of them is one of my favorite plants, mint.
Mine too.
Oh.
It's a family recipe. This was something that my grandmother grew in her garden, mint, and it was something that our family, wherever we live, we grew in our yards, our backyard, not necessarily our garden. And this is just peppermint. But sometimes we had spearmint. Sometimes I've read that there's field mint, and I think that likely we had field mint.
Okay.
It was very sweet. It's hard for me to even try to find that same type of mint. You know, I'm sure that over time
it probably got diluted a little.
Maybe diluted a little bit.
The other thing is you can't buy mint seeds and plant them because the genetic variation of the amount of oils in the plant, which give us that flavor, varies. You know, it's genetics. But you need to buy mint by the plant, and so you've got to kind of smell your way through the nursery or garden center, or if you have a good friend who has a good mint plant, it's a great pass-along plant to share, to say, hey, I've got a good one.
Absolutely. So, it definitely spreads.
Oh, yes.
It definitely spreads. That's one of the things I love to do when I go to the greenhouses, is to, you know, just to rub. You don't even have to pull the leaf off. No. It will just, the oils will come right into your hand.
Exactly. Yeah. You can just, you know, enjoy the fragrance of it
and then you have an idea of what it's going to taste like.
Exactly. But it needs to be in a pot.
It needs to be in a pot.
Or in a very large area where you can let it rain. Just
my grandmother, my grandmother, well, we usually had it, you talk about someplace where it rains. We usually had it someplace that was close up to the, kind of up to the house, but it was always maybe next to the hose, the garden hose. It seemed to, you know, did well there, wherever there was some kind of water source around it.
A little bit of moisture, it's a very happy plant. If you want to help control it, put it in a dry spot and it'll be a little more tame. So. But we've got them in these beautiful pots. So what did you do with the mint?
Well, we made mint tea. We had a Spencer recipe mint tea, which is what's in this picture here.
Interesting.
And I made, so this mint actually has been curating or fermenting for about 2 days.
In 2 days?
And sometimes when we had it in our house, we didn't have it in anything so fancy. It was just sometimes it was just a milk jug.
Yeah.
And that little top, and we're just sticking mint in, and it would stay in that jug. There were 8 kids in my family, so it didn't last a jug
long.
of mint lasted a day maybe.
Yes.
And then the next person, if you finished it, it was your responsibility to go out and pull more mint and to stuff it back in there. And we use the same container sometimes. And so at the bottom, you almost have this kind of mix already that's fermented, so you don't have to wait those 2 days here. You're just adding fresh mint to it just to kind of freshen it up.
Yes.
People sometimes are really particular about things floating around in their mint tea, but that's, you rinse it off really well before you you know, put it in with your water.
Right.
And then we would just put it in the refrigerator. Sometimes not in the refrigerator. This, I actually just sat in the windowsill for a couple of days. Yeah, some tea. Some people will even boil it a little bit to kind of
heat up the water to release those oils.
Yeah.
And of course you want to pick the mint in the morning when the oils are the richest before the heat of the day, you know, kind of evaporates them off.
You're telling me something new there. I'll have to try it in the morning.
Please
do. So this, so I did this as kind of the concoction here, and then I added just a little bit of fresh mint in it for us. You want to try it?
Actually, yeah, but let's do our project first. Okay,
awesome.
We can do that at the end. Okay, so let's move it back on over because I'm anxious to get going with the other project that you've brought in here.
So this is another recipe. This is a lot of people when they come to the Ann Spencer House and Garden Museum, particularly, they want to know what is this color that's on the arbor and pergola. We've named it the robin's egg blue. And this is the recipe.
Which we'll post on the website.
Here, that you can post on the website.
Fantastic.
And maybe the viewers can have a little bit of robin egg blue in their garden too. It could be on an arbor, it could be on a pergola, or it could be on a pot.
Sounds great. And by chance, you have robin's egg blue.
About that. We have lots of it. Well, this is one of the fun, so I brought this color, not just to share the paint color, but I wanted to also share this little story. This is one of the fun projects that I did with my grandmother that we did together. We painted pots, and she painted pots.
Yes.
She liked painting lots of things around her house in the garden. So I thought we could
Let's put a little paint on
put a
the
little
pot.
paint on it and see.
Yeah, that sounds great, because the robin's egg blue is just special to the Ann Spencer House
Yeah,
Museum.
and we're not, we're not that formal. This is, just remembering that you're doing this a little project as a little girl with your grandma or your auntie, somebody that you love. And so, when we were doing this, it wasn't about sealing the clay pot with Mod Podge or some type of sealant to keep the water in, because the clay will absorb the water.
Yes.
Though I didn't know those things when I was painting, with my
We were just
grandmother.
having
Those
fun
things,
painting
these are
pots.
things that I find out. We were just painting pots, and so when you look at her pots today, they're all crackly because they did not have a sealer on it. But it was just kind of a fun thing that we did.
Project.
And she would, and when you look at her pots, you will see layers and layers of color. So you'll see maybe some red shining through her robin's egg blue, maybe some of that kind of greenish color that's on that pot there. She just painted layers and layers over. How did you do, Peggy? You didn't think that you were going to...
I think, well, we've got about a minute left, so I was wondering, we had to go back to toasting the tea.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah,
This
robin's
is so
egg
easy.
blue. It's so easy.
Yes.
And then this is a pretty thing, and then you want to water
Water
your,
the
of
plant.
course, water your plant.
Yes.
Water your plant.
I love your little water
And
container.
We're going to have some mint tea.
And we're going to toast our pots.
And we're going to toast our...
Pot. And we're going to toast...
We're going to toast for new garden friends.
Yes. And your grandmother.
And Ann Spencer, who...
Great gardeners live on.
Great gardeners live on.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.
This is delicious.
Yeah?
Yes. This is so refreshing.
Even without sugar.
Even without sugar. I'm not, remember, I'm an unsweet tea girl. Well, Shaun, thank you.
Thank you, Peggy.